Okay, boys, system of year when Kevin goes to his Atlas funded account and then finishes up the whole system. We shall go to, for now, I'll go to gbpaud because I want you guys to notice something. In gbpaud, I told you guys, if you watched my earlier video, I told you that there is a level that I'm looking for. If you guys can observe, this level over here was a level of resistance before. So if price goes above that level, I'll be taking my buys, as I told you before, okay? Anything above that area is good for buys, okay? So I don't usually see much here. I don't usually see much here, but just for a quick update, for you guys who have been asking me how I get my entries, the method is called ICC, but we shall be explaining more. We shall be explaining more in the next upcoming videos. So this was the first area of resistance, and then we had the second area of resistance, and then afterwards we had also another third area of resistance. Okay, so these are three areas of resistance. That's the first touch, second touch, third touch. Okay, those are all three areas of resistance. So if price manages to break out of these areas, then we shall know that for sure that price is actually going to turn what? Turn bullish, okay? Because anything above that area, as you have seen before in the market, price was bullish. So that means that if price manages to come above this level one more time, I'll be taking my buys. But currently I don't have any setup on gbpaud. Most of you guys, you have to learn to be patient, okay? So there is no entry here. Price is just consolidating. You have to wait for price to come above the area, then you shall take your entries. Here it's a bit noisy, so you don't have to, be scared. We wait for the setup to come. Then for gold, I told you guys as well that gold is currently facing a bit of a strong resistance. Okay, we said that we broke out of the level. This was an area of resistance before. If you observe here, we had an optimal sell the first time, second time, the third time price came and then shot above the level, giving us the indication that it wants to buy. That means that anything that goes above this level once more again is good for buys. Okay, so to be more safer, price has to come above that level so that you can take your entries for sales. But as I've told you, for people who want to take early entries, I don't see much information on gold. Actually, gold can be in this consolidation up to it depends. Sometimes it can do it because we're entering a new year, so price can just be stalling around this area of 44.13, and then just along these areas, just playing around, okay, until we reach 2026. So this is the area that I'm talking about. So that price is stalling, okay? When price is stalling, it makes resistance, breaks it, gives you the indication that it wants to buy more, but we know that it's capping, okay? There is no momentum in the markets, because if price was to break above this level, we would have broken out by at least these first two candles, okay? But anyways, we shall wait and see what price gives us. But as just for information, price is extremely bullish on gold. Price has been making higher highs, of course, but we have to also consider the fact that gold has been extremely volatile in the last few days. So yeah, that's it for gold, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next week, because today is Friday. I really don't see much activity. We have seen that price has already formed a double top, okay? We have already formed a double top on the markets, and there isn't so much as volatility, so to speak, in the markets. So once price makes a double top, what's the next move? The next move is for a downtrend, okay? So the next move for gold could simply be a downtrend, because we already have a double top. Price has failed to form a new higher high. But now, if we given that information, where would you like to start stacking in your sales? Well, we have an area. We go to the H1, okay? For your entries, if you're doubting whether you should take a sell or what, you just go to your H1, and on your H1, you realize something. This was a strong area of buyers. We had lots of buyers at this area over here. So if price gives us the indication by going underneath this level, okay, so if price comes and gives us the indication, we can obviously just start stacking in our sales, because price can literally just make a correction move and then a continuation to the downside. As I've told you, price is extremely bullish on gold, but already we are facing a bit of resistance from the top. That means that price is likely to first of all test the nearest area of support. So the first area of support that so far we have is around this area over here. This is an area of support that we have in the markets, okay? So price can simply retest that area, and then afterwards you may see maybe a continuation to the upside, but this is a good area for price to retest, okay, because it's a very strong area. We had that massive push simply because, remember previously, if you observe, price was selling, okay, and then after a while it came from this area all the way back up. That means that there are buyers in this region over here. So when those buyers are retested the second time, they will be able to notify us that, hey, we can even push higher. But if price fails and breaks this level, then we know that price is now starting to actually make some momentous moves to the downside. For instance, that's the first zone that I'm telling you. Then we have another second zone over here. This is another area where we saw that buyers kicked in. So this is another area of support. This is a weekly time frame. Imagine this is a weekly. It's not a daily, but a weekly. That means it can take even months. So if we have the breakout from the, I think by next Jan, if Jan starts and we break out, I think by mid-Feb, that's when most of the traders come into the market and most of the volatility kicks in. But if price comes and retests this area, we may retest this area of support or this area of support, then we know that price is likely to have a good push down. And for people who have been trading, you know also that also here is another area of support, because we saw that this was the original move before price made all that impulsive move to the upside. Previously we were selling, but what happened? Price came to this area and then you had this massive push. That means that this price at this level over here is strong. There are strong buyers in this area. So given that information, but that area is so far away, it's like 1838. For gold to make such a dump, we may have limited supply, okay? No, we may have maybe if they discover new supplies of gold, then that's how we can have this whole dump to the downside here. Because when people discover more of gold, that means that there are going to be more suppliers. When there are more suppliers, of course, that means that we are going to have more selling pressure in the markets. Because we may have the first supplier there up selling at that level, then we have another supplier over here. So in the overall, we're looking for buyers in the markets who are willing to take price at the next area of support. That's it for gold. As I've told you guys, I won't be trading gold right now because I don't see any indication. Actually, there's zero indication that we are likely to continue bullish, because price has been, if you observe, price has been consolidating throughout the Asian session and also coming to the New York session. But if it gives me the indication by going above this level, I'll be taking in my buys. The same with the gbpaud. So I'll go to another pair which isn't related to so let's go to gbpaud, because this one isn't affected by gbpaud, by the USD, okay? So on gbpaud, you observe that market has been extremely bearish at this area over here, okay? This was a strong area of resistance in the market before, okay? If you observe, whenever price came, the first time that price came to this area, we had a massive dump. So it came again, and then we had another dump, but we had the indication that price wants to go above, because it came above this area for the first time, okay, giving us the first indication that price may likely to push higher. So we go to the hour time frame, the M15, so that we can see the market structure more clearly. And guys, I want you to remember that this account is $500 from 10K, okay? So anyways, I won't bother you with the details, but it's my funded account, which I bought from Atlas Funded. If you guys want to check it out, you can always check it out. Anyways, for guys who are interested, we had a break of structure over here. Price broke through the structure. So if price comes above this area the second time, I'll be willing to take my buys, because I know that price is likely to have the indication for another strong push to the upside. So someone may ask me, by why, Kevin, don't you enter positions here? Because I have no indication. We saw that we had some bit of selling pressure here, so this could be another area where you can take your buys. But I don't really recommend it because I don't see much. But for clarity, just to give you a clear picture of what I'm seeing in the markets, remember we are in the London session, okay? So usually in the London session, GBP is more stronger in the London session. Not stronger, being stronger doesn't mean that it has to always buy. No, what I mean is that there is more volume, okay, backing the market structure. So given that there is more volume backing the market structure, you don't want to see price break the levels that it created. Why? Because if price respects the levels that it created, that means that it's respecting structure. So you see that previously price had been selling, okay? So on gbpaud, you see that previously price was making, if you observe, We had a higher low, then lower, some mini lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then we had a shift from around here. This is when market shifted. So from around this area over here, if you guys observe, from around this area, we had a shift in market structure. So I'll just draw a line so that you guys can understand. So that's the line. Let me make it blue so that you guys can see it more clearly. Blue or purple, doesn't matter. Okay, so you see that above that area over there, because we had some bit of a price was making what? Lower lows. Okay, so this was the previous lower high, and then we made a new lower low. What happened? Price pushed through this zone, creating a new higher high. So this area of resistance was crossed, and price made this impulsive move to the upside. So the second time that price came above this level, I'll be taking in my buys, and stop loss can be underneath this area. But since I want my TP is very small, my TP is only like $10, so I'll just use a small lot size, maybe 0.08. And then with that 0.08, if let me see, I want to just show you guys what I mean by trading ICC. So this is a stop loss of $8, and then my TP could probably be above this area over here. It will be around $20, but I won't go for all that. I'll simply go for a small portion. So on the M15, I realized that price has already started to shift structure. We are starting to become bullish. We are above an area where price pushed higher, so I think we are good to go for buys. But we shall just wait a bit, and we shall just make a pinpoint entry, because my aim is just to have a pinpoint entry. But clearly speaking, for you guys who have been trading, you can easily take your buys from this area, because price has already shown you that above this area is willing to buy. Although on the H1, the issue that I'm having right now is that this area over here is not so how can I say it? It's not so big on the H1 perspective. We only see that we had an area of sales over here, but price went above this level and we sold up to the top there. So I don't really see much, but I can say for sure that price could likely start to buy. I go to the M5. The M5 is showing me, so okay, it's showing me lower lows. Okay, let's wait a bit. Because we had a shift in structure fine on the M5. We went above the structure. Price was making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, so expect another bearish continuation move to the upside. But yeah, that's it for gbpaud. I don't really see much. The issue that I'm having right now is that I don't see volatility in the markets. I know it's the London session and stuff, but it's so slow. Like, look at all the consolidations we had from the M30. So I don't really. It's not that I don't trust my strategy. It's just that the volatility, the volume has to be there for me to take entries. When there's no volume, I'm just playing with dead money, because when there's no volume, price can easily just push a bit and then afterwards have another massive sell-off. Because without volume, that means there is no interactions, there's no trades taking place, there are no orders in the market at that area. So I would simply just wait a bit and see what price has to give me. But yeah, let's wait. This could be a pullback candle, so I'll just give it time to finish. In the M30, I go to the M15 maybe. Yeah, this could be a pullback candle, so I'll wait the second time that price comes above the level, then I'll take my entries for buys. Simple as that. So here's what I'm saying. So if price comes above this level the second time, I'll be buying until we reach that area over there. If you put a buy lot of 0.5, buy stop of 0.5, TP will be around 64. 64 is good, but I'll pass. 17. Okay, 17 is not bad. And the stop loss could be around let me see, 50 is too big. Maybe 34. Yeah, 34. Why are we having almost a negative risk to reward ratio? Well, because with ICC it's all about you following structure, and as you follow structure, you just limit your exposure to risk. How do you limit your exposure to risk? You risk by adjusting your stop loss. Okay, most people just want to put a stop loss which is permanent, but you have to lock in some gains, bro. It's not like you are you're in a casino whereby the house takes the money. No, here you can lock in some gains. It's all about your greed and how you trade. But anyways, I won't bore you guys with details. I'll just be waiting for price to make another massive impulsive move to the upside, and I'll take my buys. But I don't see much on this pair right now. It's so clumsy. It's like I see a move. Okay, it's like I see the move, but it's so clumsy. Like price is not giving me what I would typically take in my setups, because in my setups all I'm looking for is the indication that price wants to go higher, and then after price goes above the level, then I take my entries. But here it's a bit tricky because price has been indecisive for the past couple of okay, let me just show you something. What's this here? See this level? This was an area of great resistance. Price sold off massively in the first area. So the first time the price came about underneath this area, we had massive sales, okay? And if you observe to your left, this was an area we had some bit of support. So anything underneath this level is good for sales. So if price comes above that, underneath that level the second time, I don't think I'll have anything, but just continuation moves, okay? But yeah, anything above that level is good for buys. And if you're to buy, your stop loss will definitely be underneath the zone, because you don't want the price to fall on you. I'm going to go to the daily one just to see the time frames. Okay, we see that price has been bullish. I think we're in a good run on this pair right here, but the safest way to trade here would be, I think this will be the safest area to trade from for buys. If you are to take buys from the daily perspective, that is the safest area to take your buys. So I'll go to the H1 and I'll see how far that level is. Well, it's not so far away, but yeah, it is what it is. Okay, but as far as I've told you, the M15, if price goes above that level, we had an area over here. Price is above an area where we saw that there was massive selling, and yeah, I think we are good to go. I'll come back on USD on that pair. I'll come back, but let me first go to AUD USD so that I can also see the structure. AUD USD is a bit, it has also less volume. Okay, whenever price makes these compulsive moves, I usually move out because it's not so strong. Anyways, for GBP AUD, it's not looking so good, but price can retest this area over here, so you may have a retest, and then afterwards price could have another push to the upside. But yeah, GBP AUD actually could start selling. You just have to give it a couple of time, because I don't really see much on it. Let's wait, let's just give it time. I'll come back and update you guys.